What's going on, family? Hey, down here in Tampa, Florida. I just wanted to come to you guys a little bit, just touch bases with you on something that we have been covering in a couple of different circles um, down here in lovely Tampa, Florida. Just down here cheering on my birds, man. You know what I mean? We got us a win last night, man. It was a good game. It was kind of slow in the beginning, but it's my first time in actually Raymond James Stadium, man, and it was beautiful in there. The people were lovely. Shout out to the people of Tampa, man. They treated us well, man. A lot of people down here, took care of us, looked after us, and just really treated us like family, man. But really I was really surprised at how great of a turnout, the ATL family showed up, man. Shout out to y'all, man. We came and represented. So, we came down here, had to do our business. I was gonna wear my Kaepernick jersey, but my pops had told me, that probably wouldn't be a good idea down here. But my old players. Excuse me, I mean to be yawning on camera, but anyway. So, got back to the hotel last night, and I saw my feed where I had been looking forward to catching up with Tavis Smiley, doing his interview on Good Morning America. And for all those who are not up to speed, basically Tavis Smiley is a journalist, television personality, good conscious brother, does a lot of great work within the black community, and he's been doing it over a career of over 30 years, just in the black community, doing a lot of events in the black community to help benefit, help change, help go against, the usual. But um, we were talking about it yesterday as far as, the interview. And the interview he did, if you didn't find it, it basically is on, YouTube. You could type it in on GMA, Tavis Smiley, etc. But for those who are not up to speed with what's going on, so Tavis Smiley has been suspended by PBS for sexual misconduct or harassment in the workplace. And, you know, just when you read the evidence, or you read the accusations, um, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but that's where I wanted to do this channel. I wanted to do this, I'm sorry, I wanted to do this thread, this post, and just get people's opinions on it, etc. Because I have my own thought, I have my own opinion about certain things, and I just want to get yours. But it seems like Tavis Smiley was suspended by PBS basically for doing what every, you know, heart pumping heterosexual male has always done, which is basically, when you work with people, and this goes for both parties, when you work with people, especially in corporate America, retail, you work in professional buildings, financial buildings, you work out at the airport. In most jobs these days, you're with these individuals damn near more than you are with your goddamn family. So that's why infidelity, um, a lot of times is traced directly back to a coworker. If you suspect your mate of stepping out on you or your significant other, you suspect them of cheating on you, first place you ought to look is at work because there's a high percentage chance that, that individual probably is seeing a coworker. And the truth is that coworker has a chemistry with your man or your woman. You understand? And so nowadays, there's usually a protocol. that is in place for work environment and workplace environments. Um, and a lot of times they say, they strongly encourage you not to pursue. A lot of times they don't say that it is completely unauthorized or, illegal, things like that. The majority of people meet on the job. The majority of people that get married, you marry your significant other, the majority of the time, by the stats, you meet them on the job. You're either a courier and you deliver it to that person's business, or you deliver it to that company that that person worked at, and y'all just kind of saw each other over the course of months and days and hours and years, and built up a chemistry, and next thing you know, you're married. But what we seem to see nowadays, family, and I just want to call it out, and I've seen it on many threads, etc., is this just all lumped in kind of thing. Nowadays you got women out here, and again, I'm going to say this as the disclaimer in order to make my point. And I feel like we have to always say this disclaimer in order to be able to have a dialogue with the ladies. Ladies, I am completely against harassment. I am against sexual assault, rape, etc. Um, at some point, we have to talk about clarity. We have to talk about what, um, a different type of interpretation of certain things. Because with every accusation being brought to the light, Harvey Weinstein, Kevin Spacey, all of these sports analysts and all of these journalists, etc. Um, you have women out here who are also trying to lump in men who you've had a sexual relationship with, and you're trying to lump them in with men who have actually fucking raped people. And I got a problem with that. I do. I have a big problem with the whole Me Too thing. When it started out, just like everything, it starts out with good intentions, and before you know it, when you refuse to have boundaries and limitations and clarity on what the agenda and what the purpose and what the solution is, you allow those on the outside to basically infiltrate your movement and basically run it amok. And that has what the hell happened. I kept telling y'all, you cannot lump in your work relationship with a guy who you have been having sex with consensually for months and years, and out of nowhere, the workplace environment was too chaotic, or you've had sex with this individual for 6 months consensually, and all of a sudden he harassed you with sending lewd photos and pictures, etc. At some point, ladies, y'all gotta stop. You have to stop, because what's gonna happen is taking out workplace environments. This thing is trickling down into just your normal dating scenes. Everything is now harassment. Women are now, not all, but you have women now with their guard up every single time that they see a man. You have men with their guard up every time they see a girl. The fellas are going to be afraid to literally compliment you on the dress that you're wearing, because there is going to be someone out there, and there has been someone out there who has accused somebody of harassment. Um, and I've asked in groups that I'm in, and the typical solution is, hey, it's not that difficult to understand. When a woman says no, or when a woman is not interested, then that should mean that you should ride out and take your rejection, or basically read her body language as basically not inviting. I agree. I completely agree. I gave another scenario. Um, I've been and with numerous different men have also been in this same scenario. Um, I've been approached by female coworkers at a company party, company picnic, company outing, company cabin trips, and your females are approaching you pretty heavy. You reading the body language, you like okay, etc. Right? They pushing up on you, but in your mind, you like nope. You're reading it, you're staying professional. Like no, I'm not gonna go there with her. It's not gonna really go here. I'm gonna keep the relationship strictly platonic, right? So I remember being at a company party, and I told this in one of the groups that I'm in, and I had a brother that was telling the same story. I remember a female, I was pushing up on this female, going at her, giving her some good game. And from my understanding, she wasn't feeling me. So I pulled off and moved on to the next. Later on that night, she comes back up on me and was like, so you just not gonna holler at me? And I was kind of thrown off, like, damn, you gave me a cold shoulder earlier. And she said, I thought you were going to try harder. And I thought that was the worst fucking advice you ever could give somebody, or worst, anything to give anybody. To basically tell a man, you know, so you just give up so easily. And I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, bro, what the hell do you mean I give up so easy? You gave the cold shoulder, you gave the notion like you weren't interested. And as a man, I don't want to catch no fucking case. So what I did was pull off of you, and now you're telling me I should have been persistent. And see, ladies, that's where y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop with this shit. And then on top of that, y'all have to start understanding where your role plays in some of this. Again, when you hear that, I understand the emotion is going to immediately come out, and you're going to think, well, how dare you blame a woman? I'm not blaming a woman. What I'm saying is, you need to start understanding where your role is in some of this. You have men out here who are not harassing you. You have men out here who are attracted to you, and you are knowingly going into relationships with these men, whether they are in a powerful seat or in a authoritative seat, your boss, your CEO, your manager, or whatever. You know from the beginning if that man approached you in an incorrect manner or in a disrespectful manner. And a lot of y'all are saying, well, it's intimidating. You knew it was intimidating when you applied for the job. Hell, if you go work for a CEO of a company, that's intimidating in itself. So therefore, if that's all you had to do and you got the job, seems like the hardest part it's out of the way now. So when it steps over into anything sexual, and women are out here using this excuse, well, I felt like I had to do it in order to keep my job. Well, good excuse, right? In its context. But like Brother Tavis Smiley said, he never even threatened a female with their job in order to have sex with them. This was just a consensual work relationship. So, therefore, you're now doing exactly what you want to do, what you had the understanding of. You knew what this constituted as, you knew what this meant. You're basically having sex with your boss, and that's all it was. But the reality is, we got to get off of this. You owe me something. You understand? We got to get off of this. I'm giving you sex, so therefore you owe me something. You went into this. It sounds like when you read the allegations, it sounds like Tavis was having sex with a coworker and it just went south. He pulled the plug on the situation and kept it strictly in the road. She, on the other end, wasn't hearing that. He never fired her. I don't know if the girl eventually quit because she said the work environment was quote unquote hostile. And a lot of times if you read into that, that's code for basically, I don't want to have to come to work and look at this person, or I don't want to have to be in a area where this person now knows everything about me. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like you take a man back to your apartment, he has sex with you, and then y'all break up, and now he knows where you live at. So now you feel fearful that you're at risk of an attack. That's the same logic. It's not the same. You just took somebody to your apartment and they no longer have any interest in you. Um, but it's easier to always point your finger and say, that you now have been harassed. Your work environment was now hostile and uncomfortable to work in. That's easy to always say. And to me, if that is where we are going at some point, I'm talking directly to you, ladies, as my sisters of all colors, but definitely to my black women, because y'all typically follow the way of the white woman, the white feminist. So whatever she is doing right now with the Me Too, the trend, basically, all of these allegations that these white women are filing against these high profile men, sisters, please don't think that they got your agenda at heart. They don't. This is the same trick that they got you to fall for in the 60s. They will get you on board with the movement and then throw you the hell off once they get everything that they wanted. They are not considering you for any kind of position in the feminist hierarchy. Understand me. All they want you to do is allow them to put the black man at the face of rape and harassment. You understand me? So, therefore, we got to start being able to come back to each other. Now, this is the solution. Take ownership for what you've done. I will take ownership as a man. I'm a father of three wonderful young men, and I always have been teaching them, to respect women. I have a mother. I have two wonderful sisters, numerous nieces and nephews. I raised them to respect each other, respect men, but I damn sure teach my nephews and my sons. And I was raised by two wonderful young men, fathers, to respect women. I respect women. You understand me? But we need to understand that respect has nothing to do with accountability. When you love someone, you have to be in love with them enough to hold them accountable and say, listen, you're going against this, you're going about this all wrong. Y'all got it wrong. Every guy is not a threat. Every guy is not a harasser. Every guy that says, hey, beautiful, how are you? May I take you out? That's not a threat. And what's going to happen is it's going to make you so guarded and so calloused towards men until eventually nobody will want you. You understand? That's where it's headed. The majority of these feminists that are out here that are crying harassment are honestly, and I have to be respectful, but I also have to be honest. A lot of them are undesirable to date. That's all it is. Most of the time, these women who cry harassment are women who are not pursued by men. You know what I mean? So it's easy to always say, oh, I felt harassed by him. It's a cry for attention. I'm not talking about the women who have legitimate cases. My heart goes out to you. May you find peace. May you find forgiveness. And may you basically be able to move on with your life and get some damn punishment, get some justification, get some, not revenge, but to the person who has caused you harm. I hope you get some justice towards that individual. You see what I'm saying? But have peace with yourself to be able to move on and understand that it was not your fault. You understand there are some bad people, men and women, but there are some horrible men in this world. There are some men out here that it does not matter how kind you are, how good of a person you are, how respectful you are. There are just some men out here that just have that personality that they're going to overpower you for dominance. That's what they feed off of. So for those women, I tell you, I encourage you to empower yourself, learn how to defend yourself, become more strengthened within personality within communication to be able to stand up to a man and say, hello, how are you? I'm here for a job. I'm here for this. Or good morning, good afternoon, and not feel like you are being down, talked down to, like a man has this kind of power over you, you know? And a lot of times, sisters, like I say, a lot of times there's really nothing that you have to do. Hell, there are some men that's just gonna try you, and you have to be prepared for that. So again, we're not talking about those women, but we're talking about the ones that are destroying everybody else. You cannot, and I repeat, you cannot lump every male who you have had sex with or tries to have sex with you and with rapists and sexual harassment and all of this shit. Be careful with that because you will basically become an undesirable woman. And if you ever want to have something in this world, you deserve to have it with a good man. But if you continue to put yourself in these predicaments where everything is now harassment, everything is now, assault. And by the way, can't nobody try to talk to you? No one can reason with you. No one can even get you to sit down and say, hey, we need to discuss this. If under no circumstances, nobody can talk to you about the situation, nobody's going to talk to you, period. So it's time. The men have to understand, brothers, you can no longer, use your positions at your jobs to get women and things like that. But work environments have always, and to be honest with you, I hate to say it, they're not going to go away. And what I mean by that is when you work with somebody 12 hours a day, I'm sorry that you're just going to have people that eventually are going to intertwine together. And I understand that. But you cannot call somebody a rapist or a sexual assaulter when they have not done anything to you other than have sex with you consensually. And because the job doesn't work out, or because now you don't want to be held accountable for your decisions and your actions. It's not rape. It's not assault. It's not a chaotic work or hostile work environment now. No, you just need to become an adult. Realize that you can't come up with your legs open every time. Fellas, you can't pile on every chick in the workplace. But ladies, you can't climb the ladder with your legs open with everybody. You understand? We gotta stop. We gotta understand that they are intentionally trying to separate us. And if we're not careful, this shit, like one of the sisters said in one of my threads, it's going back to the olden days. Be careful. But anyway, y'all, I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. This is a little quick, quick video I wanted to do. Um, but shout out to everybody. Shout out to my ATL family down here, man. Real quick, go to Ustream.com. Download the Ustream app and download my show, Juke Joint Diaries. That's Juke, joint, like y'all know, Diaries. And also, again, I am your host, Mike Mitchell. Shout out to the Dirty Birds. We got that W. Damn shirt look dingy. What the hell going on? But anyway, family, man, I'll holler at y'all. I love y'all. Ladies, we need you. Y'all need us. Please, let's stop separating. Let's do good to each other. Let's be good to each other. Let's be gods. Let's build empires. All right? Love. One.